we want to introduce you to some very special people living in the northern regions of Kenya in a district known as Turkana. These families have been surviving in these dry desert lands for generations, unsure of the future due to the lack of a reliable food source.
Well, thanks to the support of our partners, last year Crossroads was able to assist with emergency feeding programs throughout the Horn of Africa, including Turkana, saving lives and bringing hope to thousands of people.
Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert." Our theme for this Crossroads Missions emphasis is streams in the desert. Just as the scripture says, I am doing a new thing, Crossroads also wants to do a new thing to help these desperately needy people.
Here to help us understand the project is Crossroads producer Cheryl Weber, who has just recently returned from Africa.
Hi.
Welcome, Cheryl.
I'm so excited about this week. You know, when I was in Africa, people were saying to me, please hurry, let's get this project going. Like, we're hungry. All day long, people would come to me and say, we're hungry, with their hand out, we're hungry. I just heard it all the time, and I was just so like, I just need to get back here. I need to get these pieces to air. I need to tell people about the need because I want to make a difference for them.
This is different from anything we've done before.
I think
Explain this.
It's literally the most complicated project we've ever undertaken. As far as my awareness of Crossroads Missions, it's technically complicated, but it's a really cool thing because, you know, last year we presented the need about the drought throughout the Horn of Africa, and we did feeding programs, which is so, you know, kept people alive. But I love the ideology of Crossroads Missions because they don't want to just do something and create a culture of dependence that goes on and on.
This is not a quick fix.
No.
This is transformational.
Yeah, and what they did right away is set about studying how can we help these people get lifted out of this poverty, this constant starvation, constant drought, constant failure, so that they can actually start taking care of themselves and get their dignity back and not be on the edge of life and death all the time. So they came up with this really amazing plan with engineers, surveyors, all these expertise that we actually used, found a way basically to dig wells with solar power that pump the water out. So, you know, you don't need electricity, which obviously, when you see the footage, you'll know there's no electricity in those huts. And so, you know, it's sunny almost every single day because they're always in drought. So they can pump the water up into a 1,000-liter tank that's up high and use gravity to water their gardens. We're going to train them how to use the best farming practices. Like, just there's so many aspects of this plan that I see that is guaranteed to ensure that they're going to be successful for generations to come, literally lifting them out of poverty, you know, for hundreds of years.
Regardless of the environment, apart from the weather that they have to deal with all the time.
We call it drought proofing.
Fabulous.
And make it sustainable for into the future. Well, Cheryl, you were there with the camera. You were able to get a lot of footage and so on. And I think we have a kind of an overview you put together of what the project is all about.
Yeah, this is going to be a great introduction to the project, the need, both the need and what we're doing about it. So let's take a look.
In this remote region of northern Kenya, desert life can be unforgiving. As a people who make their living through farming and herding, the lack of water means the Turkana regularly experience poverty and death. To make matters worse, in 2011, the region was hit by the worst drought in 60 years, leaving those that survived living on food aid. People here say they are thankful for the help, yet still find the total dependence on others humiliating.
To be a beggar is not really good, but we have to live like that because we don't have any alternative. We are not able to do farming because there is no water. But to be all self-reliant, to provide for yourself is really good. It makes him feel good. It makes him feel like he's a normal human being.
For Crossroads Missions, creating sustainable solutions is a core value of their charitable planning. So although they were able to help over 130,000 people stay alive last year through feeding programs, they immediately set to work to find a longer-term solution to this cyclical problem.
There's those crisis times when you want to jump in, and we do, but as we looked in this particular area, we identified about 1,275 families that we believe we can drought-proof. And we've come alongside Glory Outreach Ministries, who have a vision to help their people. And we're getting behind kind of their vision and helping them to fulfill it.
David Shelley says the Turkana Eden Agricultural Ministry will transform the lives of the Turkana from one of vulnerability and peril to dignity and hope.
Well, in Isaiah, it talks about streams in the desert, and that's kind of what we want to do here in the wasteland. We're going to create these large garden plots, 30 acres in size, that'll service about 120 families. Each of them will get a quarter-acre plot. The water source is going to be underground boreholes, 2 boreholes per plot. And they're going to be solar powered. There's going to be 1,000-liter tanks on every quarter acre and a hose where they can water their crops. And we're going to create this continuous flow of water so that they can grow food. It's a great plan to help people get self-sustaining.
This innovative plan has been a year in the making and has involved experts from surveyors and engineers to hydrologists and agricultural specialists. The people here have welcomed the project with open arms, filled with hope that they will have a reliable food source for generations to come.
She believes that this is really a good approach compared to former approaches of partners who have come with some little relief food and they dump them, they abandon them. But they would want to work together with a partner who works with them throughout the season. A season of emergency where they give them some relief, and also a season of development where they help them do their own development, like creating their own assets or farms, like this plan that Crossroads has.
And as this plan is implemented, Crossroads Missions Director David Shelley has joined with the Turkana people in dreaming of a different life for them, one that speaks of the love of God for all people and brings hope and life to this dry and thirsty land.
I want to see kids getting fed every day, but it's not a feeding program. It's because their moms and dads could actually grow their own food. And I want to see kids going to school because they don't have to scavenge for food all the time. Some of them won't eat a meal a day, not even one. And to have this Garden of Eden source for food for them, I'm hoping to see lots of happy kids around that are healthy and not malnourished or not dying because of lack of proper nutrition. So you're going to have food, and of course with the wells, of course we get the added benefit, it's clean water for their children or for bathing or for cooking, you know, because it's deep boreholes. So there's a whole bunch of spin-offs that are going to be just terrific, just terrific. And we just need our faithful supporters to get behind us. It costs about we've estimated about $1,000 a family to drought-proof a family. When you think of it, you know, you're drought-proofing not just for this year, it's for the next generations that we're doing this. So it's a good use of missions dollars that people give sacrificially, helping people that they may never meet. So I'm just really optimistic that we can make a difference here.
And as the missions team returned to Canada to tell people about their plan to create streams in the desert, the Turkana people consistently left them with just one request: please hurry.
Well, joining Cheryl and I right now is Crossroads Director of Missions, Dave Shelley. Dave, such a fabulous project. Like I can't think of a better way to just to help people in such a practical way and give them dignity as well. Dave, take us back a little bit. Last year, people will remember giving to the Horn of Africa, Drought, and how did this kind of come out of that whole start?
I mean, we're always trying to. I believe God restores lives. I don't think He does Band-Aid approaches. I think He restores them, and we're always looking for opportunities to be that instrument that can restore people to dignity and give them self-sufficiency. And so when we were examining and visiting areas that we had helped during that time of drought, we looked at this area, and you know, there's about 7,500 to 8,000 people living along in this stretch of land, about 4,000 acres. And we just felt, you know what, there might be a way to, instead of them being chronically malnourished, instead of them being always on the edge of hunger, we felt that, you know what, we might be able to do something more. So we invited, it's a little bit more complex than what we've normally done. I mean, if you look at the area, I mean, the average high temperature is in the low 90s, 35 degrees. The average low temperature is still mid 70s. That's the low temperature. The rainfall is maybe 7 inches a year. So a quarter inch in 1 month. So how are they going to survive? They become beggars. And so we think we can make a change. So we invited Engineering Ministries International out of Calgary, said, listen, we need some help. And they had a Canadian, Patrick Aylard, who was in Uganda at their office. And he came over to take a look. And I thought he would just kind of run and say, oh my goodness, we can't really do something here. But he said, no, let's tackle this. So we've come up with a great plan to actually provide, as I said in the clip, boreholes, create solar powered. There's lots of sun. Sun isn't a problem. And we are going to create garden plots for every family along here. Quarter-acre garden plots, which will be enough to kind of sustain them with food throughout the year.
So why has nobody ever been able to do this? Because this has been a long-standing problem, and when you drive around there, you see all kinds of aid agencies from all over the world that have set up shop there. But there doesn't seem to be anyone who's really come up with a long-term plan like Crossroads Missions has.
Well, I think this is a fairly big project. It's heavy lifting. You saw clips in there of some garden plots, though, done on small scale that they actually work. You saw solar powered in there. You saw some fruit trees and gardens being watered. We're going to do that, but this is big scale. So we're 30 acres of irrigated land. And so this is heavy lifting. We really need everyone to come alongside and do something to help these people.
So there are literally streams in the desert. They're underground streams. They need to be tapped into, and we need to do what we can to help provide for these desperately needy people.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the people there are so anxious for help. I mean, they're getting ready, mobilized now to kind of clear the thorn bushes and the desert palms out of these specific areas so that we can start putting in some garden farms for them. So they are always on the edge of hunger.
And I think what's great about them and what I saw is that they're always willing to work as well. They want to change their lives. There's a passion to do that, and we'll see it throughout the week.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great week. I hope everyone watches and catches the clips and catches the vision of Streams in the Desert. We believe that God can make a difference in their lives.
Well, there are some specific ways you can help in different aspects of this project. Take a look at this and get ready to respond.
Thanks to the faithful support of our partners, last year Crossroads was able to assist with emergency feeding programs to fight the extreme drought throughout the Horn of Africa, including the northern regions of Kenya in a desert area known as Turkana. Now, we want to move forward from providing temporary emergency relief to life-changing, long-term permanent solutions. Our goal is to provide continuous and freely accessible water by digging large volume solar-powered wells, enabling families to grow food on 1/4 acre garden plots. Through Crossroads' provision of seeds, tools, and agricultural training, families will be able to grow their own food year-round. The cyclical and relentless seasons of drought in this region has caused extreme poverty and starvation for the Turkana people. We at Crossroads believe this can change. After extensive research and site visits, we developed a plan to help transform the landscape of this parched land and its people from failure and hunger to permanent food security. This would be a miracle that the Turkana people have not seen in their lifetime. Together, with your support, we can provide life-giving water that will spring forth out of the ground and the living waters that will well up for eternal life. Please help us bring streams to the desert. Visit crossroads.ca, call 1-888-288-0003, or make checks payable to Crossroads Missions.